Hello all, Mark here. Just thought I'd take a few minutes with you to share a very simple technique called a memory network or a filing system. Now, if you've ever done any memory techniques in the past, you'll most likely have heard this referred to as the journey system or the method of loci. And it's very, very simple. And the way it works is that you basically take a journey, and along that journey, you pick out certain locations. Now, what I've found, and what you're looking at here is Google Streetview. This is a location in Aberdeen, and what I'm going to demonstrate here is how you can use Google Streetview to create a memory network, a mental filing system. Because one of the problems I've noticed in the past, I've worked with a lot of people over the last 20 years or so, and when you first teach this technique, you'll ask people to use, let's say, items in the home, journeys they can remember from their home to the work, or if you're a student, from your home to your school, etc., or places you've been on holidays. And people will quite easily create a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000, maybe even a couple of thousand. But at some point, they become a little bit stuck and they go, I run out of places, or it just becomes too much of an effort to think, what can I use to remember this information? And I will show you how to actually remember information in a minute. So with Google, it's very, very simple. What we do is we use Street View and we pick items which follow a clockwise direction. So let me just demonstrate what I mean by this. So let's say up here in Google, you can see this pipe. That pipe will become our #1 file. And in a moment, I'll show you how you can use that to remember something. Number 2 will be this boarded up window. Number 3 will be this sign, Castle Terrace. Number 4 will be this ladder. And number 5, let's use this bin over here. So 1 pipe, 2 window, 3 sign, 4 ladder, 5 bin. Now, if you close your eyes now, play along with me here. If you close your eyes and I say, what's number 1? The pipe should pop into your mind. If I say number 2, the boarded up window should be there. If I say number 3, you should see the sign. If I say number 4, the ladder, and number 5, the bin. Now, generally speaking, we all have really good visual and spatial memories, and this is why it's really easy for us to remember the sequence of items, the sequence of locations. So let's just do a few more here to test that out. So let's say number 6 is this tree over here. Let's say number 7 is this car. Number 8, why don't we use these windows underneath this sign here? Number 9, let's use this black door. And number 10, let's use this small bin. So, let's just quick recap. Number 6, the tree. Number 7, the car. Number 8, the windows. Number 9, the door. And number 10, the bin. Very, very simple. So let's say you wanted to remember something. Now for demonstration purposes, I'll use some simple items so you get the process, you get the idea. So on this pipe over here, what I would like you to imagine is that there's a huge bomb and the bomb blows up, boom, and it blows the pipe to smithereens. Let's imagine on this window over here, there are lots and lots of balloons, and the balloons are floating into the air and they pull that red boarded up window off. Let's say number 3 up here, Castle Terrace, that sign, there is a big sticky leaf. So a big sticky green leaf covering that sign. And you can imagine if you touch that, your hand would probably stick to it. Let's say for number 4 on the ladder over here, there is a huge bumblebee. And this bumblebee is climbing up the ladder. I don't know why, let's just say that he is. It's a little bit scary. Number 5, the bin. Let's imagine you have a huge drill and you start boring a hole into the bin. And maybe this is a big blue drill. Can you see that? Let's imagine number 6 on the tree up here. There's a Ferrari. Let's say there's a Ferrari, and that car, that Ferrari, is driving round and round the tree right up at the top here. Really, really fast. Number 7, let's imagine on this car over here, there's a huge stick of dynamite. And let's imagine you stick the dynamite into the car, and the car goes boom. It blows up into pieces. Let's say up here, this is number 8 now, on the windows up here, there is a huge oxygen mask. Let's give this window some arms and let's imagine it's holding this oxygen mask over itself, and maybe it's got a mouth sticking out of its window and it's sucking the oxygen in. That's very, very strange. Anyway, let's just go with this. Imagine there's an oxygen mask on the window. Not going to forget that. Number 9. Let's imagine on this door is lots and lots of toothpaste. Maybe the door is brushing his teeth. Give it teeth, because obviously it doesn't have any. Maybe this little letterbox here is like teeth, and imagine it's got a tube of toothpaste on itself. And finally, to finish off, let's imagine that on top of this yellow bin is a big neon light. And maybe it says your name on top of the bin there in neon lights. For me, it would say Mark in neon lights on the bin. Now, if we test this out, you should remember those 10 items. So play along with me here. And so on the pipe, what do you see? You can say it out loud. You should see the bomb. On the window, what do you see? You should see the balloons. On the castle terrace sign, what do you see? The leaves. Yes. On the ladder, what's going up the ladder? There's a bumblebee. Of course there's a bumblebee. On the bin, what's happening on the bin? That's right, you've got drills, a blue drill, and you're boring a hole in the bin. What about the tree? What's happening over there in the tree? You can see the Ferrari, the car driving around the tree. What about over in this red car here? What's happening? Yes, you have a stick of dynamite. You stick the dynamite into the car. What about in the windows over here? Oxygen mask. Yes, you should have an oxygen mask you should see in front of you. What about this door over here? It's brushing his teeth. What else would it be doing? Of course it is. It's brushing his teeth with toothpaste. And finally over here is the yellow bin. And neon lights. Your name. Or my name. So there you have it. A very, very simple example of how you can use Google Street View to create a mental filing system, a memory network, and then you can memorize information using this idea, this process. Now, you may not have realized it, but what you've actually done is memorize the first 10 items of the periodic table. Not the most interesting list in the world, but it does show you how this works. The bomb was actually hydrogen, the balloons were helium, the leaf was lithium, a little bit tenuous. The ladder was beryllium, it was a B, so your B on there, so Be, beryllium. The drill, you were boring a hole, bore was for boron. The car and the tree was for carbon. The dynamite actually meant nitroglycerin, so that was nitrogen. On the window there, you had oxygen, very straightforward. Fluoride toothpaste, so I thought fluorine, and finally neon, very straightforward. So hopefully you get the picture. So something you can practice, something you can go away and literally create hundreds, thousands of memory networks to remember anything you like. Hope you find that useful. Thanks very much.